Friday reviews, Friday film review. Yes, that's right, it's Friday reviews. It has returned and it is back. I'm hoping to keep it up. I'm hoping Friday reviews will be the reviews of the films that were released on Mondays, reviewed on Fridays. And actually, this week I have 2 reviews and there was 3 movies, but hopefully the 3rd movie I will review a little bit later the weekend. But not to worry about that, let's get into the first one I'll be reviewing, and that is The Fifth Wave. Now this came out, like I say, on Monday, and I watched this movie before I read the book, which I typically don't like to do. I do own the book, and I started reading the book actually. I don't know what happened, but I didn't finish reading the book, and in some ways I think that might be a good thing, because I know this movie hasn't got the best reviews, and I can kind of see why. There was just something that kind of, I felt like I was missing throughout the film, and I still cannot place my finger on it. So essentially this is kind of an apocalyptic dystopian type of movie. Maybe more apocalyptic than dystopian, because basically these aliens on the front here kind of like almost are over, I guess they're just over America at the time, and they kind of release these things in waves. That's why it's called like the fifth wave. And it kind of, you know, it's starting to wipe out civilization and things like that. And, you know, it's kind of one of them movies. But I feel like there was just something, it kind of split the story actually off in 2 different areas. One area was following this kind of main character here, Cassie. And it's kind of, at the start, you know, you kind of get to know her and her life and how her life was before the alien invasion, I guess you'd say, and then you kind of follow along with her. But then the other side is kind of showing these kids preparing for war, I guess, and their side of things. So you kind of end up, throughout the movie a little bit, you end up kind of looking at 2 different points of view. And I actually found myself, I know that the book is actually split up into different different points of view. I don't know how, I can't think of the word. You know, you read through different people. You read through different protagonists, and it's like split in the book. Which I think is quite interesting, and I like how they followed it through in the movie, but I think the fact that it was split up, I just wasn't as focused. I think if I was following her, it might have maybe been a bit dull, but I think they could have done it. But then the actual training, I was kind of found myself more interested in than her story. But then there was aspects of her story which I thought were interesting, and I was kind of getting into it, and then it switched to the other one. I think that was maybe my problem with the fact that it switched between the 2. And that I kept changing which one I was interested in. I mean, the 2 did link. I'm not going to ruin how they linked together, but they did. And I found it really interesting. And there's definitely parts when I was like, ooh, kind of like waiting for wanting something to happen and waiting for it to happen, and kind of suspenseful for that. There was definitely a few things that I kind of didn't quite see coming. There weren't massive twists. Well, there were some little twists and turns I didn't see coming, but I feel like you could have guessed if you would have been thinking about it. But yeah, overall I enjoyed the movie. I don't know if they're going to continue with this series. I feel like it left on a point where I guess they could maybe leave it, but it kind of leaves it a bit open to be like, this movie wasn't as pointful without the rest, because the books are a trilogy. It kind of does make me want to read the rest of the books, but I think I'm obviously going to have to read The Fifth Wave first to kind of fill in parts that the movie would have left out. And then it's The Infinite Sea and The Last Star's actually just kind of been released in the book. And I don't know what it was. There was just something that, like I said, I can't put my finger on that I didn't enjoy too much. I think the character of Evan, who's this guy here, he was a little bit questionable for me. I mean, I kind of feel like there was some romance throughout this movie, and I feel like it was kind of just a bit thrown at you. I don't know if it kind of felt a bit boom. I can't really, this is why Friday reviews didn't continue. My review is just a jumble of words. But yeah, I really would like to know your guys' thoughts on this one, because I feel like I'm a bit lost for thought on this movie, for the fact that I did enjoy it, I did have fun watching it, it didn't really drag, it's only 1 hour and 40 minutes. But I felt like something more kind of could have been there. I really liked this character though. I think his name was Ben. He was great. His character was probably my favourite character. And I think Chloe Grace Moretz did a good job in it, but there was a few moments, like for example, there was this slow-mo moment, and it just felt a bit off. There was, I don't know, I don't think it was the story that was off, it was just maybe the way that this film kind of was. There were some parts that I really enjoyed, there were some parts that were a little bit meh, so I feel like I gave it quite a good rating as well for what I felt it for. Oh, also this character on the back, I think her name was oh, I've forgotten her name. She was great. There's a girl in it, and I thought she was fantastic as well. There was a little girl in it. There was all the kids kind of at the base camp type thing. I really enjoyed that, so I feel like for how much I enjoyed it, I will watch it again. I gave it 4 stars, which I feel like is quite a generous rating because I did have some problems with it, but I think the problems will even themselves out the more I watch it. I definitely will give it another watch, so I feel like, you know, I've got to give it, even though I've said some bad things about it, I enjoyed it, and I really liked the kind of kid training aspect of it, so, you know, there we go. I gave it a 4. For the most part, I did enjoy it. That's what we can say. I'm just a little bit confused on it. If you guys have seen it, please let me know your thoughts down in the comments below. It might help me like be able to think of my thoughts a little bit better as well. If you say, oh, I didn't like this, I'll be like, yeah, that was it. And you guys might just put your finger on it. But yeah, until then guys, I will see you next time. Let me know if you enjoyed the 5th Wave. Let me know if you've read the book. Should I read the book? I presume the book is better. Everyone always says the book is better than the film. But yeah, until then guys, see you next time. Thumbs up if you enjoy Friday reviews and want to see more. And I'll see you then. Goodbye!